All right, folks, welcome back to the shop. Here's one for you. This is I'm going to call it a Craigslist or Kijiji or whatever, Facebook Marketplace. Marine 454. I bought it a few years ago. We had a motor fail in our boat, our one of our charter boats. We had our old backup. We put it in, but then I didn't have a backup with my backup in the boat while we dealt with the other motor. So I got on Facebook Marketplace, I think it was, and bought this motor from a guy that does a whole bunch of marine stuff out of town. So I bought it. It was supposedly, according to him, completely rebuilt, new bearings, new rings, and this is again where I get into what is the definition of a rebuild. Our definition of a rebuild um, typically is new pistons, new camshaft, new rings, new bearings, a hone with a real hone, like a stress hone, not hone with some shit on the end of a cordless drill, and a build sheet. And typically we dyno it. Um, but other guys' definition is we took it apart and put it back together and spray painted it. And I kind of knew what I was getting. I didn't overpay. I kind of overpaid, but not way overpaid. So I'm not even pissed off about that. I'm not even pissed off about any of this. Bought it as just we're going to set it aside and have a motor should I need one, should my backup fail. And the backup didn't fail, and we rebuilt the other one. It's now in the boat. The backup's now sitting fully dressed in the shop, ready to go should it be called to duty again. But I'm finally getting into this one. And again, there were some things, even the guy's shop was a mess. Um, so, anyways, we're finally getting into this thing. We're going to tear it completely down. We're going to machine everything and build up another motor to the same spec as the one that's in the boat. And then this will become the primary back. Actually, this one will eventually go in the boat, and then the one will come out of the boat, get rebuilt. So we're always kind of rotating one as we hour up units, and it's cheaper rebuild stuff when there isn't a hole in the side of the block versus when it throws a rod because you ran something for too many hours. But anyways, starting into this thing, it's just a bunch of old parts the guy threw together. I think the block's going to be okay, but until we tear it apart and mag it and all that, we're not really sure. First things first, I can spot that he went at this with a fucking whizzy wheel, a cookie grinder, and so we're going to be into decking surfaces, which I expect to do that, but those stupid fucking body shop grinders only make matters fucking worse. And we'll if we get a chance, we'll dye this and run the first pass of the mill, and you'll see how out of whack it is. This dirt in here, so like this fucking dirt is just fucking filth. Okay, that's from being in a shitty fucking shop. The rust is from pulling the heads off. All open cooling systems are going to get rust. When you pull a block apart, they're rusty inside. There's nothing you can do about that. So that's from lifting the heads off. But this shit here, that grease is from being in a fucking filthy fucking shop and the guy just not giving a shit. So like I said, workmanship stuff. But here's the really cool one, okay? So I lifted the other head off. This is what prompted the video. Remember, fully rebuilt, ready to go in the boat, according to the customer. That is a fucking nail from a fucking pallet or something. So this, again, we never ran this motor since it was rebuilt. And I am fucking very thankful that I don't trust anybody, because that would have completely fucked this fucking motor had we run it. So buyer beware, right? If you don't get a fucking build sheet and the guy's not like a reputable fucking rebuilder, it's not rebuilt. Repainted is not rebuilt. New rings and bearings is not rebuilt, right? We're going to keep tearing this thing down over the next few days. We're going to measure stuff. I'll pop a couple rings off of the pistons because supposedly it's got new rings, and we're going to check the ring gaps and see if if they're tight. If they're loose, I can live with that. But if they're tight, once again, as soon as this motor gets hot, it would have butt a ring and blown the fucking thing sky high. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into building motors that you don't know about if you don't do it every day. And it's all in the book. If you would go step by step through any rebuild manual, it's in there. But guys think they know better. They cut fucking corners. It looks like this head bolt was helicoiled. We're going to pull that helicoil out and redo it right. But that's actually proud. Like I said, the least you could do is fucking run a file across that and knock it down before you put a head on. Like, Garbage fucking workmanship. If this guy worked for me, it'd have been his fucking last day if I opened this thing up and saw this. But this is what happens. This is what's going on out there. So fucking rebuilt does not mean new. Does not mean good. In fact, I would have rather bought this motor before he got into it, because at least I know the only people who were in there were the GM factory. But anyways, we'll keep going at some point, and we'll do some more videos and let you know what we find out.